things as a redhead you may not have known about us. First of all, redheads used to be burned at the stake for having red hair because they believed that you were a witch. People to this day still comment asking if I'm a witch. Next up, there were groups in society that believed that if you were born with red hair and pale skin, that you were most definitely a vampire, and then you were excluded from society and usually burned at the stake again. Redheads also get asked a lot of inappropriate questions. When we're growing up from a young age, people ask us really insensitive and inappropriate questions about our hair colour and our body hair, and it's just super weird. Not to mention the fact that beauty brands often exclude the pale tones and shades because they're not that popular and they don't sell as well, with redheads only making up 1% of the world's population. Makeup artists that do have these palettes and shades available, well, these guys are professionals. And not to mention that people often touch your hair without permission because they just want to know what it feels like. And whilst red hair is more coarse and thicker than normal hair types, it actually is just hair. If you're a redhead and you have pale skin and you don't wear any makeup on a day, you can expect for people to ask you if you're ill, ask you if you're feeling okay, tell you that you are extremely pale and unwell looking, even though that's just what we look like. Redheads require 20% more anaesthetic at the dentist or for surgical procedures, and often doctors don't believe this until their patient with red hair is in pain and begging for more anaesthetic. So have a think about that the next time that you meet a redhead.
Have you ever seen a fat redhead? No, you haven't, and the exact reason is because all redheads get sent off to something called the Ginger Army at age 4, where we learn basic things on how to learn how to be a ginger. One of the main things is how we learn how to sweat. Gingers sweat a lot more than anyone else, and this actually causes our body to burn more calories because we have to get through the sweat, and our body is trying to process all of the fats and all the carbohydrates, and it just pushes us out through the fat. This is actually due to evolution, because redheads back in the olden days were believed to be witches, and we often had to escape from our predators, so the amount of sweat allowed us to stay cool when we were running away from our predators. If you can imagine it, it was quite a hot and tense situation. We're running away from our predators, we are sweating, and the sweat actually allows your body to cool down and savour the moment. So this is exactly why redheads are often very slender and slim, because we actually sweat more due to our evolution, as being a witch was seen as bad and we had to run away, and then the sweat was able to cool us down. Have you ever wondered why all redheads have blonde body hair? Reason is actually darker than you can ever imagine. Redheads used to be hunted down and accused of being witches in the olden days. This meant redheads often had to hide in dark locations, hide in trees, hide from their enemies, hide from the predators. So this meant we had to be as camouflaged as possible. So our body and the MC1R gene, which is the gene that is responsible for red hair, made our body hair blonde so that we could blend in easier. Can you imagine seeing a human out there with black body hair while they were trying to hide in the trees? No, you can't, because they would have easily been spotted. Whereas the people with red hair who were hiding from their predators had to have blonde hair so that they could hide and not be found. It's actually really scary, and I'm so glad that we're not in the olden days anymore, because I definitely would have been found out pretty easily. So this is the exact reason as to why all redheads out there actually have really light blonde hair that you can't even see.
How do you feel about being black now?
I'm not new to this, I'm true to this. How do you feel about being black now?
They said I ain't have no soul, now I got soul.
How do you feel about being black now?
I'm fine with it. Now I just need to find my black king.
Hello guys, I hope you're doing fine wherever you are watching us from. As always, is your presenter Kish from Africa, and today's episode we are actually speaking about the ginger stereotype, and it's very nice that the ginger people have actually come openly speaking about the stereotype, speaking about the myths and misconception. And of course, as we've heard from this video, the ginger brown hair actually came about through evolution, that the brown hair was actually an adaptation to camouflage during the time when they were being chased and being hunted, because in the medieval time or medieval era in Europe, the ginger community were actually believed to be superstitious, so that they were associated with witchcraft, and some believe that the ginger community are actually vampires, and that's why the ginger community were being hunted and chased. So while hiding, the brown hair came about through adaptation, so that they can camouflage and actually hide. Another story that we have actually heard is somebody trying to explain why gingers sweat a lot, and aligning that theory to the great evolution theory. And she was trying to say that while the ginger community were being chased, they had to sweat so that they could cool their body, and actually all those factors of brown hair and sweating became a genetic mutation. Though I believe that this is a myth, but now looking at the impact of these myths or theories, one could see how ginger community have suffered. Either believing in this myth, you kind of see the trauma while hearing these myths. And I think now this issue of gingers, and I think that this trend of ginger community being black, or actually becoming like a one community, is a good thing, because we actually knowing a lot about ginger community. We are separating the truth and stereotype. We are separating between myths and misconception, and I think that we have all heard in the past, since this trend actually started, we have actually heard a lot that we didn't know. And I think that right now the ginger community are feeling happy, and of course as evident in this video, the ginger community are actually feeling happy. And as always, actually in my episode, I like spreading love and positivity. So let me know what you think about or what you have heard in the past 1 month, or since this trend of ginger are black started. Let me know the stereotype that maybe you heard. Let me know whether you knew that actually ginger were receiving a lot of microaggressiveness. Let me hear that in my comment, or let me see that in my comment. Until we meet next time, spread positivity, spread love.
Is anybody out there willing to adopt me? And I mean this genuinely now, because tell me why. I've just found out that the UK is planning on experimenting, reflecting the sunlight away from the earth within the UK to prevent global warming from getting worse. Sorry, we barely have any good weather as it is. We've had a few days of sunshine, and now you want to strip that away from me. I was having a good time, and now you've just ruined my days. So I need to live in a nice country where the taxes aren't too high, the people are nice, they don't complain, they're nice people, and a nice environment. Because why are we being stripped of every ounce of happiness in the UK? Everything is so expensive. Now you're stripping the sunlight away from us, a basic human necessity? Are you serious, Ryan? I need to get out of this country. I don't know what to even say at this point if this actually happens.
All right, redheads, don't fuck this up for us. No N-bombs, no overly protesting to be black. We're just going to take what we can get. We're going to ride it out until it's over. Hopefully in time for cookouts in summertime. Don't mess this up. I believe in us. We got it.
Some of these comments, I don't know. I don't know how I feel about this. This is awakening something in me that I did not expect, that I did not know what was gonna be there. Very careful.
All right, redheads. Don't fuck this up for us. No N-bombs. No overly protesting to be black. We're just going to take what we can get. We're going to ride it out until it's over. Hopefully in time for cookouts in summertime. Don't mess this up. I believe in us. We got it.